414. We're going for it. Oh man, this is Joe Rogan. Ali Sadiq, pretty sure that's how you pronounce his name. He's a comedian, funny comedian. I think if you give this guy like another 10, 15 years and he's just going at it steadily, he'll be like Dave Chappelle level one day. I really see that in this guy. Great comedian. He's from Houston, really funny guy. But they're talking about something not so funny, which is the censorship that goes on, not just in YouTube, but just in general, when it comes to companies having to dance monkey dance for advertisers, because that's really what it is when it comes down to it. It's the people who are advertising that kind of control these platforms. You know, it's money, as everybody knows, right? Root of all evil is the wanting of money, the dangling of money in front of you, me, or any company. It's just, it causes people to act outside of their moral structure, if they've had any to begin with. I know we all like to believe that none of these companies have any moral structure, but they all start with it, and then they learn how to make money, and then they meet up with people who have certain amounts of money that they've never seen before, ungodly amounts of money, and the next thing you know, they have to step outside of that character. You got to take just a couple of steps outside my moral character just so I can get that money. Let me just... And then you trip and you fall and you stumble and you walk a few more steps, and the next thing you know, you don't even know where your moral character is anymore. That's really how it goes. Now, before I take you onto that video, you know I'm going to take you to the store. I got to bring you over to the store. We got the Great Resist. It's the newest design by Coach Colin himself. Join the Great Resist and resist the Great Reset. Did I say that properly? I felt like I said that wrong. But we got that. We also got the Soul Not For Sale line, as everybody knows. And the last one I want to show you guys is the anti-WEF line. Give Klaus a middle finger in style. All of these designs can be found on IamCoachColin.com. The website again is IamCoachColin.com. 1 L on the Colin. Discount code IamCoachColin. All caps. 1 L on the Colin. And if you've bought anything from us, thank you so much. You have no idea how much I appreciate it. You have no idea how much my wife appreciates it. It is helping us tremendously. So let's get into this video real quick.
He got pulled off of YouTube. They killed his whole channel for reading Lancet studies on psychiatric drugs. Bro, it's crazy. It's crazy.
They did a study on.
Well, it was on children and psych medications. It was on children, and I believe it was SSRIs, which is antidepressants.
Are they prescribing those to children now?
They've been prescribing them for children. They've been doing it for a long time, but they do not like when people discuss the negative side effects on YouTube. If YouTube, I would assume advertising pressure. That's the only thing that makes sense to me.
You can discuss getting the belt or getting whipped, but you can't discuss the negative side effects of a drug.
Isn't that wild?
I think that's crazy.
You could openly discuss being abused as a child, being beaten. Yeah, so this gentleman, what's his name? Roger McFillin, Dr. Roger McFillin. So this is what he said. Our YouTube channel was terminated in less than 24 hours. No warnings, explanations, or strikes after we posted a video highlighting published science, black box warnings, and known adverse reactions of antidepressants for youth. Why do you think this was censored? And then what's weird is that YouTube responded underneath it. They responded, "Hey, here to help. Let me know your YouTube channel URL. We'll see what we can find. Here's how to find it." No, they killed his whole channel. He said, "You terminated my," I don't know, saying you, it's probably a person, right? So it's probably not that person. It says, "You terminated my YouTube channel for posting published scientific literature. It's for reasons like this that YouTube is losing the public trust." Man, it's that dance of advertising, That's the dance of advertising and government control. It's kind of spooky. It's kind of spooky shit.
Well, Well, I've been living in a neighborhood that's been government controlled for a long time. Not really spooky to us. We like, oh, regular
life.
government nonsense.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah, like this is the reason why we don't trust anything. Like brown people, black people, we just don't. Like as soon as you say it, like as soon as not trusting it.
It's for good reason. Yeah. It's not like everything's going great and nobody trusts the government.
Yeah, like, but a lot of people are pro-government, like government everything.
Well, I think they just sold a narrative. You know, I think they get sold a narrative, and they think anti-government is bad, so that they're pro-government. And I've had some maddening discussions with intelligent people that I respect, where they're saying the government should regulate the internet. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? The same people that are engaging in insider trading, they should regulate the internet? Are you out of your fucking mind? How crazy that is? It's
who said that? Who said that?
The guy used to be the publisher of Rolling Stone magazine, man. In the 60s and the 70s, when Rolling Stone was the counterculture. He was telling me that they should regulate the internet. We had the most maddening conversation, and I respect him so much, and I love him so much for what he did in the past.
I think that was connected to, the internet kind of destroying magazine sales.
It could be, but it's also... I think it's an ideology, man. I think it's an ideology. I think these people have in their head that good government with good people is good. And the problem is bad government and bad people. But we've never had, what was the fucking last time where you were 100% satisfied with all the things the government was doing, that they were doing everything they said they were going to do? Even if the president wants things done when they're running for office, those things never happen once they get in office.
That's a very white question. There's no way you're asking me that. Like, will we ever satisfied? Like, never.
Well, maybe Kennedy. Kennedy gave people hope. It seemed like he was giving people hope. But, that was before my time. That was before your time. He was killed 4 years before I was born.
Did you like Carter?
Well, the thing about Carter is, if you listen to Carter talk, and this goes back to Rolling Stone magazine, because Hunter S. Thompson went to Jimmy Carter's campaign speech, and it was so moving to him that he actually went out to his car and got his tape recorder and brought it back in and started listening and recording it. And I don't think any president has the ability. There's a reason why the government is set up the way it's set up. It's set up so the president can never become a tyrant. So the president can't make his own laws, so they can't make this is how the government is divided. But this is the concept behind the beginning of the country, the beginning of the country. I think even if you're a good person, you're in a bad job. You're in a bad job with a bad machine, and that machine wants to make money, and if it's making money by selling people drugs, or it's making money by going to war, or it's making money by fucking finagling the economy in some bizarre way.
Anytime there's something to gain on the other end without public knowledge, it's going to be a problem.
Of course.
Yep. I just wanted to hear that last part about Hunter S. Thompson. I wasn't even supposed to go that far, but I love Hunter S. Thompson, so I love to hear a good story about Hunter S. Thompson. Went as a reporter to record to watch a president speak, and then decided to record it. Hunter S. Thompson's any other journalist would be like, I have to record this right away. Not Hunter S. Thompson. He's like, let me hear this first, then I'll decide if I want to record a little bit of this stuff. Definitely, I got to do some videos on him. Definitely. I got to have my wife do some research. But to what they were talking about, it's like I said at the beginning, that weird thing. It's like it's all connected to these companies. Because one thing that Ali said, he said, you can talk about getting the belt, getting beaten as a child, but you can't talk about the effects of a certain compound on a child. Really odd. So you can talk about how violence affects a child, and you can put that imagery into someone's head who's watching a video, but you can't put the imagery of negative side effects because of some compound happening to a child. It's very weird. And at that point, because I was talking about the advertisers and how it's all linked to that, at that point, it makes you wonder, who are the advertisers? You don't have to wonder. We can see it. People have ads pop up, But it's like, why do these people have such a problem with that? You know, side effects. But then they don't have a problem with child abuse, like literal somebody talking about child abuse. One's important because you need to know the effects of it, because you don't want people to repeat that. But same thing over here when we're talking about side effects. Side effects of both are important to know, right? It's interesting. It's the same reason, like when you think of like hip hop, like think about like a hip hop song. They talk about doing drugs and selling drugs and killing each other all the time. And for some reason, that's fine. Like an advertiser will have their stuff beginning, the end of a song that's essentially about murder, about, you know, drug dealing, like all that stuff. They'll have no problem being a part of that. But then when it becomes something like, you know, we're talking about government overreach, or we're talking about side effects, compounds, pharmaceutical companies, all of a sudden they don't want any part of that. It's really odd. The things that you would think the things that they want to stop, they would want nothing to do with, because you don't want that in society. I would imagine you don't want people, whether it's the black community rapping to the white community, or, you know, white rappers making that music. It doesn't matter who it is. You're making that kind of music. You'd think you wouldn't want society to be exposed to that. And you would want them to be well informed about any kind of side effects from anything. But for some reason, not a thing. It's very interesting. And that person got their whole channel terminated because they were talking about studies. It's weird. Really makes you think, because, you know, the things I talk about, I mean, I want to jinx it. I don't want to push it. I'm not saying that it should happen, but I talk about certain things. You know, I get my revenue taken away at times. That's about it. You know, I don't know. It's weird. And even in the things where I get my revenue taken away, if I don't actually turn the setting off, they still put ads throughout the video. They just won't give me any money for it. Weird. Very weird. But again, it's that moral compass. Where's your moral compass? And, you know, how far are you going to step outside of it to please your advertisers? And Google has answered that question. I mean, you know, when you look at how much money they make from advertising, it's more than half. Like the whole company is built on advertising. The whole company. It's not built on technology. Like they say big tech, but it's not big. It's all about the advertising that comes into their platforms, YouTube, search engines, all that stuff. That's where all their money comes from. So, yeah, you know, they used to have a slogan, Google, not YouTube, but, you know, umbrella company. It was, I think it was like, "Don't be evil." Was their catchphrase? Like, Google, don't be evil. And then at some point they just took it away. Not saying they're doing it, but I guess they just wanted to leave their options open. They were like, I don't know, maybe we'll see who the next advertiser is, how much money they got. Oh man. All right. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know what you think about that channel getting completely terminated. Let me know what you think about what Joe and Ali were talking about. Let me know what you think. And like the video, helps bring us out of the shadow realm. Out of the shadow realm. Into the great realm of where Mr. Beast is, and PewDiePie, and Timcast, and Patrick Bet-David, and Joe Rogan himself. Like, you know, why can't I be amongst all the guys? They won't let me out and play. It's weird. But other than that, I am out.